Very interesting topic. We will be looking into the next in money. Joining us is Mr. Shankar Sharma, founder of GQuant Investec. We also have with us Mr. Sergey Millan, CEO of Regal Assets Group Holding Limited. We have with us Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO of the National Stock Exchange of India, and Mr. S. Ravi, former chairman of the Bombay Stock Exchange. May I request all the panelists to join us on stage. Steering this conversation on the next in money is Mr. Dilip Cherian. Let's have a huge round of applause for our next session. May I also take a moment to inform the audience that we are very grateful as this session has been powered by the National Stock Exchange. Dilip ji, over to you.
Thank you. Let me first say that it's a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank the organizers for having put together a set of interesting conversations. And because at least two of our panelists have a flight to catch, and we have to make sure that you have enough content, we're going to shoot straight into the subject. I'm going to let the panelists introduce themselves in half a sentence when they begin to speak. But broadly, we're looking at the theme of next in money, in finance, in the markets, etc. So I'm going to start from my left and then move gradually that way. So Ashish, as the person who looks at probably the largest single trading platform in terms of numbers of stocks, people engaged on a daily basis, how do you see what the world is going through in terms of trading patterns, changes, and what do you think the next big thing is going to be, which will probably inevitably be presiding over?
In a way, if you look back, the recent past or even say 500 years or 1,000 years, the only change that happens and the only wealth that gets created is via technology. Technology is the only change that happens, and then the society kind of falls around it. And naturally, over last 100 years, the pace of change has become faster, but it's becoming even faster. So one of my hypotheses is that the way during Industrial Revolution, the world created more wealth than that was created, say, 10,000 years before, the next 50 years is going to create more wealth than that was created in, say, last 10,000 years. So effectively, who can create that wealth? The people who are technology savvy, the population that are technology savvy, but who can become technology savvy? People who are young. Because old people, it's very difficult for them to actually adapt to newer technology. And the societies which are young and technology oriented, if you see across the world, Japan has become old. China has suddenly become old because of one-child policy. You have India. On both sides of India, you have young population, but they are looking back, not looking forward. And then you have Europe, which has become old. And you have America. If it doesn't import Indians, it will remain old. Right? So effectively, you have one young country, 17% of world population, 20% of world's young population. For me, they are going to create 35% of that new wealth that is getting created in the next 50 years. And this is going to be on the back of every new cycle of newer technologies. Today, which we cannot think of. Today, what we call AI might be considered a very run-of-the-mill after 5 years. And some other sort of framework will come. So technology builds on itself. And many of them get together and create some more and stuff like that. And so for me, when we look back, the IT, that is pure play computers and even mobiles and all, they happened in front of us. We were the first generation who could see the entire entire life cycle of a technology, and we saw the great wealth getting created. The next 50 years are going to be India's, and I have no doubt in my mind that we are in the right place, right time. Last 1,000 years, when technology race was being run, we were not even in the stadium. Today, we are at the front seat, right? And that's what I think the next sort of framework is all about. And I congratulate Sri Karthik Sharma and the entire NXT team. This is a great platform. I also congratulate them on the new news channel for the world being launched. So I think it's the appropriate time for Indians to know that we are in a great right place, right time, probably without too much doing on our side, but now we have to do much more.
So I can see a lot of embedded questions here, but I'm going to go to Sergey only because I'm going to do one round like this and then come back. Both Aishwarya and Karthikeya require to be congratulated for putting together a great show and a forward-looking, future-oriented thing that Ashish has talked about. And I think the future belongs to those who choose to capture it. And I think that is what you are doing here, and all of us are trying to do. Sergey, sitting in Dubai as you do, with your peaked hat, looking at what's going on in America, how do you see the entire global shift in power affecting markets, affecting trading, and affecting flows of money? What is your perspective on it, sitting where you do, having come from Russia, right? You came from Russia or you came from where? Came from where? No, but originally from?
I was born in the Republic of Belarus.
Ah, okay, correct. So you have a much more lived global experience.
Correct.
And that lived global experience gives you a insight which is probably slightly different from those of us who've spent too many years in India. What is your perspective on that?
Thank you for this wonderful question. I'll be happy to expound on that. Namaste. I'm so pleased to be here today with you, with this wonderful group. And before I start, let me say something. You know, we have a very special holiday, and I think it's, you know, since we're here on the stage, and we have a very significant Muslim population in India, you know, and I'm coming from Dubai, where Muslims majority. So I'd like to say to all our Muslim friends, Ramadan Karim, Ramadan Mubarak, and you know, how they say it is that you have to respect all the religions, and we have to, you know, pray for our brothers whenever they need, and we wish them a blessed and wonderful, joyful holiday season, because this is their biggest months.
Yes.
Thank you for your support in Dubai, because, you know, I've been blessed with friendships with many locals in Dubai, and also I've been blessed with my friendship with Mr. Bhatia from Dubai. He is actually the reason I'm here, because once I met him, he started telling me about India, how beautiful this country is, and how many opportunities, how much business is growing. So he caught my attention, because, you know, I came from New York to Dubai. You know, I was a Trump supporter, a huge one from day one, and unfortunately I got caught into all these controversies, and, you know, they opened a lot of cases on me, and, you know, it took me 7 years of everyday fight to clear my name in front of US government and all these wonderful agencies we have. And so, talking about India, you can tell that you have so much room for growth that you haven't yet used. Because, you know, I worked in China before. First time I came to China in 2008, in May 2008, during the Summer Olympic Games in Beijing, if you remember. And what I see is you are at this point right now in your country. It's like Beijing was in 2008. So you have, and you know, China, they grew the economy so fast, they changed the country so fast. And I think you just started to follow the same high rate of growth. Your economy last year grew by 6.6% GDP, which is, amazing for such a big and wonderful country. And for the entrepreneurs I saw, especially yesterday, I was so happy to hear, this space CEOs, the young entrepreneurs who are talking about exploration of space on private level. These are your future Elon Musks. They just maybe don't know about this yet. But tomorrow they can be new Elon Musk of India. And, I'm so happy I had a chance to shake hands with the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, which is a huge honor for an American to be here and to, he just visited the White House, as you know. So he was received at the highest level with huge honors by my president in Washington, D.C. And I just came from inauguration, by the way. It was an amazing opportunity to reconnect with my Trump supporters. And, right now, there is also opportunity of development in a special way. Like your Prime Minister clearly declared, you can innovate your own, the Indian way. You don't have to, have fear. Because in USA, we say, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. So don't be afraid. Do your own India way. If you're not sure how to do, just try. You must do it something. Yes.
Thank you, Sergey. Ravi, I wanted to ask you, because you straddle both banking and insurance, how do you see products or innovations as the next frontier? Not what you see today, but what is it that you see tomorrow?
So let us, first of all, thank you for inviting me, Karthik. It's a wonderfully organized gathering here. So to answer your question, first of all, let us just look at the last few years. The last few years, if you look at the insurance sector growing, the mutual fund growing, and even the DMAT, number of DMAT accounts growing, even if you look at the class of assets, for example, AIFs have come into play, even Gift City has come into play. So if you look at all the transformation that is happening, you just look back 2 years back, there is a lot of transformation. And to go forward, what will be the transformation? The transformation is all these sectors are going to merge in some way or the other. You'll see consolidation of banks. The larger banks are safer. You see a lot of cooperative banks were down under. So what happens is the consolidation will make the banks stronger, and which we saw it also. State Bank of India consolidated and all the subsidiaries together. You saw Union Bank taking over Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank. Similarly, you will see future, I can visualize few more consolidations that will happen. And that is the first step. Second, the banking and the insurance sector is going to go deeper. You will see rural insurance coming into play. Already there is a paper on that. And what will happen is the awareness of insurance is also increasing. If you see what it was 2 years and now, so what I'm seeing is merging of all this, deeper, deeper engagement with people, and the depth of the insurance companies and the banking will increase. And what I see is larger banks, larger insurance companies, larger pension funds, larger AIFs, all this will happen. And I can visualize a lot of consolidation happening along with technology, and also a lot of cyber security that will come into play. I'm being short because we have paucity of time, so I'm just being brief.
Thank you. Shankar, you have a perspective of having heard three people. Sergey spoke about innovation and what the Prime Minister said. Ashish spoke about technology, and Ravi spoke about consolidation. But given all that, there are still areas of anxiety. Would you like to highlight what are the things that in the next few years India should be anxious about?
Well, thanks, Dilip. Real pleasure to connect with you after so many years. And thank you, Karthikeya. I can't spot you in the crowd if you're still there, but when we spoke a month ago, I didn't take even more than 1 second to say absolutely it will be my pleasure and honor to be here. You're an old friend, and obviously, we have history going back. It's been a fantastic event from the looks of it. I could not see the Prime Minister's segment because I landed a little late. But nevertheless, real pleasure. Hopefully, this will snowball into something really, really big in the years to come. To answer your question, Dilip, I think India has a lot of things to be anxious about. And it's one basic fact that India is a unique emerging market, which has grown from a very low income country into a, not a middle income, somewhat middle income-ish country. On the back of services, there is no parallel to this in the developing world, not one country. Whether you take Latin American countries, you take Asian countries, all of them have become middle or higher income than middle only on the back of manufacturing. India has taken the route which is more developed market route to growth than a developing market route to growth, which is services. But that has, while it has given us amazing growth for 30 years or so since the IT boom started, that is exactly where the problem now lies because of the advent of AI. Because in a country where IT services have driven our employment, not only employment, but because of that employment, they have driven consumption. So the data is there, I don't know offhand, but they have driven car sales, two-wheeler sales, shoe sales, apparel sales because of the employment generated by IT services. That's a labor-intensive industry, and AI simply does not like labor. It hits at the core of labor, where it can replace literally floors and floors of people with just a handful of licenses. So for $200 a month, now you can hire somebody which is, or an agent, which is equal to a PhD or a person with an IQ of 120. For India, that is a very dangerous situation emerging. And we need to do something about it. The Prime Minister is a visionary. I'm sure he will have ideas and thoughts, but that needs to be executed fast. So that, to my mind, is the single biggest challenge in front of our country, how to deal and rather be on the right side of the AI revolution rather than be an opponent to it.
Got it. Thank you. Since we have exactly 3 minutes and 29 seconds left, like a rapid fire, I'm going to ask one quick question, and I'd like a quick answer, just a one-word kind of answer. Ashish, if I were to ask you the future of crypto, is it yes or is it no?
In a way, crypto and stock markets trade similarly, slightly different, but they look similar. Crypto, the stock market, in any company you invest, there is a promise of profit. Yes. That profit share will come to you. In crypto, the promise is that you have to find the next fool to buy it at higher price. So that is where you can figure out, it is possible that it might have a better future to find the next fool at a higher price. But you are up to your sort of imagination.
Sergey, for you the question is, having seen the number of countries you have seen, aside from India, where would you place your bets on if you were a betting man at a roulette table?
I'm not a gambler, but but I really want to finish about opportunities in India because, this is, I think, the very relevant.
So you'd still put it on India, is what you say?
Okay, so India fully deserves the hosting of the Olympic Games because your country is the biggest country right now that never hosted neither summer nor winter Olympic Games. Yes. And you deserve these games badly. So we hope you will get it in summer 2036, or if it, for any reason, if there is something, you must get at least the Winter Olympic Games, and in 2038, and I hope they will take place. Guess where? Jammu and Kashmir, in Gulmarg. So I really hope you're gonna get, and I'll do my best to help you get this Olympic Games.
Thank you.
Because, it's a $3 billion economy in India of sports. So we're going to develop this bigger business opportunity for sports industry,
Fantastic.
for security, for entertainment, for housing, for you're going to build the Olympic Village. It's going to be creation a lot of hundreds of thousands of jobs. Huge opportunity that you haven't got yet, but you should get it. And the world will applaud you, and you get diplomatic prestige. You're going to have all the biggest leaders, all the top athletes of the world. And you will be having not 41 medals that you have right now, since you first participated in the Olympic Games in 1900. You should get many more of Neeraj Chopra's, so that you will just have to mirror the success, the excitement, and the determination of such people. And this inaugural NXT, I read it like next. Like in California, in Silicon Valley, the most common question people ask is, what are you doing next? So India is doing next, growing its economy.
Yes.
It's they're going to host the Olympic Games, and your country is going to be great. Make India great again. Viksit Bharat. And one more slogan I want to give to you. It's going to be, guess what? Miha, make India healthy again. So this is especially from me, from Sergey Millan. Enjoy.
Very good. Ravi, quick question for you. I know we are 13 seconds off. So the question to you is, if you were to choose between mergers and acquisitions and collapses of companies, where do you think the balance is going to be in the next year?
So, collapse of any company is not desirable, and I think
No, I'm asking you where the numbers will be. Higher?
numbers will be more on mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
That is where I feel there will be less collapses because of good governance. That's what I feel.
Absolutely. Based on what Shankar just said. But Shankar, to you the question is, if you were to look at one sector of India to bet on, you said AI will harm the services sector. But if there's one bright spot for India in the manufacturing space, the various speakers spoke, in fact, the Prime Minister spoke about electronics and hardware. Where do you see the next sector to bet on in India? Manufacturing.
So I'm very clear, in India, the way to play India, in my opinion, is to look at not the whole country as one country, but to look at it as a collection of countries. Why? Because at 4 trillion, each part of the country is now roughly on the average $1 trillion or $750 billion. Each part of the country now equal to the GDP of Saudi Arabia. Each part of the country is now the size of the Turkish GDP, each part of India. So focus on regional companies doing manufacturing spices, jewelry, hosiery, t-shirts. They are very strong, chocolates, they're very strong in just Orissa and West Bengal. You don't have to do pan-India anymore, because just those markets are large enough today, which was not there 30 years ago.
Very interesting
So
perspective.
go regional rather than national.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And I hope this has been a good session, and we look forward to carrying on more discussions. Thank you.